My name is Amol Nirgudkar. I'm the CEO of Patient Prism. I'm delighted to welcome Teresa Duncan from Odyssey Management into our offices. And she is the undisputed queen of insurance in dentistry today. She has been one of the top 25 women in dentistry. Over 20 years, she's advised dental offices on how to correctly not only use insurance to their advantage, but also how to carry out a conversation about insurance, which is one of the biggest barriers patients have in accepting, going to a dentist. They fear how much it's going to cost.
Absolutely.
And obviously insurance plays a big role in that process. Affordability is a big deal. I mean, we've got 50% of country hasn't seen a dentist, and some of it has to do with affordability. So the question to you is really, you've done this a long time. You've got an amazing book called Moving Your Patients to a Yes. It's a great book. I read it twice over the last week.
Oh, nice.
And we love communication stuff is something that we do at Patient Prism a lot. But I really want to start this segment with asking you about what's happening with dental insurance in America. What kind of trends are you seeing overall? Because we haven't seen a lot. I don't see a change that's happening, but it might be happening. So talk about trends that are happening in dental participation for that.
Sure. So there's been a lot of trends, actually more so in the last year or two than ever before. Okay. So we're seeing a big change in the plan designs, how patients are getting their information. Sure. We almost have to be translators for the insurance companies because the patients get their benefits and then they find out they don't understand exactly what they're reading. Sure. So we're seeing trends in confusing plan design. We're seeing a lot more people who are paying more for their benefits, which means they expect more. Okay. And unfortunately, we can't deliver that much more, okay. Right? I see a lot of trends with large companies looking to enhance the dental benefits, but also saying, you can opt out of it too. So we're seeing, okay. There's patients who are having the choice of even having insurance. So that's something that offices are dealing with as well. We see a lot more deductibles. We see a lot more combined medical and dental. Okay. We see a lot more medical billing going on, which is very interesting. 10 years ago, we weren't seeing that at all. Sure. And so we definitely see new team members coming on board that don't know insurance very well. Sure. And that, I think, is our biggest issue as an industry, is we have people on the front lines that just aren't confident in what they're talking about. And that's why we wrote the book. Right.
So what about participation by dentists? I mean, what's going on? Are more dental offices saying we don't want to participate in insurance and being in network? What do you see in that?
So it's very interesting because when I started speaking maybe 15 years ago or so, everybody was rushing to get on plans. That was just the way it was. 20-some years ago, people were laughing at getting on plans. Then people started to rush to get on plans because they thought it was going to work, and then the reimbursement got pushed down. Sure. Now the ADA, I believe the last numbers I looked at was like between 8 and 10 PPOs are into the average practice. So the average dentist will participate with roughly about 8 to 10 plans. So you have some offices that I visit and I hear that have 20 plus plans. I mean, that's almost impossible for the administrators to keep track of. So we definitely see a little bit more participation than back in the day. Okay. But what I'm seeing now, the trend, because it kind of goes in waves, right? Sure. The trend now is swinging back towards us, that they're starting to look at being selective about their plans and getting off of plans. So I'm getting a lot more questions of how do I get off of these plans. So I think that's the big trend that's coming.
So I mean, there's no way to be out of it, right? Because obviously, if you don't participate, especially some of the big guys, you're not just going to see the patient.
Well, you can be out of it, but you're going to have to. What you're going to have is good conversations about it, saying that we're out of network. I'm sorry, we're not on your list. You can definitely do it. Does it make life easier if you're in network? Sure, because they do their marketing for you. Sure. But I love hearing from practices that are saying, it's fine to have a mix. They're happy being in with about 3 or 4 plans, but then they don't want to deal with the plans that are costing them the most money.
What's happening with dental offices? I mean, do they have more power or less power today with respect to negotiating prices?
Less power.
Less power.
Without a doubt, less power.
And do bigger groups have more power? If you have more, like let's say you have a group practice, a DSO, 30 offices, 35 offices, is there a way to negotiate that at a joint level?
Yes, absolutely. And what we see too is that a lot of the DSOs, the big groups, are actually attending a lot of the insurance meetings.
Okay.
They have people specifically dedicated to their insurance participation,
Okay.
and they know the people at the insurance companies. They are showing up at these meetings, and when you have an in, of course you're going to have a seat at the table.
Of course.
And that's what we see.
But in terms of the other trend could be, are we seeing any increase in premiums? I mean, because we're seeing insurance coverage at $1,500, whatever that is, $2,000. It hasn't changed a lot in a lot of time.
It hasn't, and here's the thing is that I don't think the premiums have changed very much at all. In fact, there's a lot of squeezing of the premiums.
Sure.
However, what we're seeing is people don't use their maximums, their yearly benefits.
Wow.
People don't use them. So the average amount used is $350. So when
That's unreal.
when your broker is looking to sell you a plan,
Sure.
and you want to pay a $2,000 yearly benefit, the broker's going to say, why? Most of your employees are only going to use $1,000. So we kind of shoot ourselves in the foot. So when I'm speaking to offices or when I'm speaking to audiences, I say to them, we need to move that needle. We're the ones who need to move it over a little bit, because if they use more of their benefit.
Wow. It's like the underutilized scholarships in the country, right?
Of course.
Like most people are not even applying for the scholarships and they go away.
Oh, it kills me. My son is getting ready to go to college. He's in his senior year of high school. We're going
Right.
to find every one of those scholarships.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, these are excellent trends. I mean, I think as we continue the conversation in this, we'll talk specifically about certain things. But great talk on kind of what's happening in the insurance world, and we'll continue this discussion. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank
Thanks.
you.